everyone! So today I wanted to go over some of the things that we learned about Adventure Awaits over on Discord. So in the Sims official Discord server, they have been doing different Q&As and stuff like that. They have places where you can specifically ask questions, and then there is a FAQ. So that one's just listing a bunch of different facts about Adventure Awaits, and I really want to go through that today because some of the things, while we do already know, there's other things that we don't know unless you've already read through this. So I'm gonna skim through some of it because some of the information, like I said, we already know, but here's what it looks like here. Greetings from Gibby Point. Welcome to the Adventure Awaits FAQ, your one-stop destination for questions and answers about the new expansion. So of course it lists things here like the release date, which is October 2nd, talks about the world a little bit, and then what are the new features. So as far as the features go, they just kind of link to the post on EA.com. Then we have what's new and unique to Adventure Awaits. One of the things we were most excited about in Adventure Awaits is the new level of coming of age experiences and childhood development for Sims. So the entomology, diving, and archery skills, rock, paper, scissors, hide and seek, and imaginary friends, modular playgrounds now give your child Sims even more ways to play together, create formative moments, making activities and experiences more meaningful and impacting. So then we have the section where they're going over the new traits, aspirations, skills, and fears. So there is supposedly only one new trait, being competitive, which is what I initially thought. And then I got confused because on the EA app, they're mentioning something called Scrappy, and it's with a capital S. So I was like, wait, is that a new trait for the kids? What's going on? But now here, they only mention competitive. So I'm like, okay, I'm confused. I have no idea. But I initially did just think there was one trait. So I think that there is. So I don't know what they're talking about on the EA app. Honestly, I guess I'll find out in gameplay. For aspirations though, I thought there was only one, and then I learned there's actually two. So initially I thought it was just Cool Kid on the block, but we also have the Critter Hunter. And I think the reason I didn't realize is because this is only an adult aspiration. So this one's not for kids, whereas the other one is for kids. Now for the skills, we have archery, paper crafting, entomology, and diving. And this was one of the main reasons I actually wanted to do this video, because this is information that is not in any of the blog posts. There are no new fears. So I'm quite surprised by this. I'm not mad at it because honestly, I feel like there's enough fears, but everyone might feel different about this. Let me know down below if you wanted some new fears. So we also get to learn a little more about how getaways work. So getaways are a customizable experience for Sims seeking a new thrill, complete relaxation, and everything in between. So to create a getaway, we are going to be able to select a location or create a custom venue. So getaways can be scheduled for any length of time, but can also be reoccurring with a set schedule. So this is where I feel like the possibilities are endless if you're having it be reoccurring. And then you can select the number of Sims attending, which is a maximum of 8. And I feel like there's going to be an option with Embassy Command Center or something like that to up that. I can just see it now. And then you can assign roles for each of the Sims, and you can also add role criteria for the roles assigned to Sims. Select role activities and set a role outfit for each of the Sims. And then of course you can assign challenges and rules for even more possibilities. What are custom venues? A custom venue is a new venue type that goes beyond standard venues, examples bars and museums, and allows players to set rules and assign roles to Sims for venues. So pretty much we can make anything we want. So I feel like we don't need to really go through all of this one, but are there any new fitness animations? So we already know that there definitely is, even just based on the trailer, but they do confirm here that yes, you can do arm curls, teach a pump it up class, hire a pump it up instructor, and then the spin bikes, which I am so excited for. And then are there any new woohoos? So we get the one new woohoo, which is the water woohoo. And this is going to allow Sims to woohoo in any body of water, even in the jellyfish lagoon. And this is another reason I wanted to do this video. Are there new deaths? There are no new deaths in Adventure Awaits. So I think this is one people will actually be disappointed in. Again, I'm not, just because I feel like we pretty much get a new death in almost every single expansion pack. So I think it's fine that this one doesn't have any. And not to mention, I think the way this pack is, it was more fitting to put a new woohoo and not a new death. Like, I don't know. I don't know if anyone else kind of feels the same, because I know everyone lives for the new death types. But I just feel like at this time, the amount of packs we've gotten, the amount of new death types, I don't think it was necessary for this pack. And with it being a family pack, I don't know, I never really feel the need to like see a new death type in those types of packs, especially one that's like heavily based on the kids. I guess they could have added in like a new adult death type, something to do with like the challenges, but I feel like there's already death types that could happen at these challenges. You know what I mean? Like they already exist. So then it says here, can all Sims take part in archery? Yes. So children to elders can take part in archery. I am so happy about this too. I really love that they included all ages for this one. And then can child Sims go kayaking? Yes. So this is another thing. I'm just so glad the kids were included because I feel like usually something like kayaking, they would actually exclude the kids, but you can only have just one per boat, but you can have multiple out on the water. I would have loved to see 2 Sims on a kayak together. Maybe someone like will mod that in or something like that, but I think it would have been nice to have that already. Can you catch jellyfish? So yes, you can catch jellyfish, but only at Jellyfish Junction, not in any other worlds. I like this. I feel like it just makes that part of the world like unique and you have to go there to catch jellyfish. And then the last thing that was answered here is where can you find butterflies? How many butterfly types are there? Butterflies and moths can be found around Gibby Point. Butterflies during the day and moths at night. There are 14 unique species to collect, including a special butterfly unlocked by finishing the collection and placing it in the habitat. You can also raise butterflies and moths from caterpillars using the Flutterarium incubator. And then as your sim levels up the skill, they'll unlock more options for raising these critters. I love it. Okay, so I also want to pull up this picture for you guys. This was something else that was revealed. So you can actually find this in one of the Discord channels in the official Sims Discord. However, it's like a whole Q&A about imaginary friends where people can actually just type and get answered. I think it's over now though, but you still can talk in there, I believe. And so it definitely got too messy now for me to go through everything and like pull out different things. There's just like a lot of people who have talked in there now. But the Sims producers did answer a bunch of questions. So if you guys want to know things, definitely head over there. One of which being this photo here. So it was confirmed that basically this is what the imaginary friends will look like when you turn them real. They will always look like these 4 presets. But of course you can go in and change them. But this is of course just how they'll look like by default. I love it. We already knew about this first one here. Honestly, love this one here. Like how freaking adorable. But also this one I really love. Now, I didn't know what to expect for this one because this imaginary doll is like a frog, but I actually really like the way this sim looks too. I definitely think the team did a good job with how all 4 of these characters look. So there's another thing that was answered that I've been waiting to talk about. So if you guys haven't seen this yet, you may be kind of surprised. But as far as the imaginary friends' personalities go, they're a little bit different than you may think. So by default, the imaginary friends have the following personalities. Lil Monster is a goofball. Pretty Pegacorn is actually the evil one. And then Crafty Kid is creative, and then Wild Child is competitive. So Crafty Kid is the doll that looks evil, and we all thought she would be the evil doll, but no. Pretty Pegacorn, the one you would least expect, is the evil one. I actually kind of live for that. This doll that looks like it would be cute and innocent, you would probably think that Pretty Pegacorn would be the creative one, but it's not. And so I think that's a cool little twist. However, these can be customized before turning the doll into the imaginary friend. So if you do want the evil looking doll to be the evil one, you can do that. You can tell that story. So there's nothing to be disappointed about. You have the choice there. I do think that's an interesting twist for those who want to keep it as is. So another interesting thing that was answered here has to do with what kind of happens when you turn the imaginary friend into a real sim. So Molly says here, when you turn them into a real teen sim, they join the household, but as a roommate. You can adopt them into the family if you wish. It's up to you. They will have a randomized name for a fresh start as a real sim, but that's something you can always change and create a sim to your heart's desire. I love this too. I really think they took the right approach with imaginary friends. Personally, I do think they're a lot better than the Sims 3 ones even. I love that they join the household but as a roommate because I know a lot of people want to have their Sims fall in love with their imaginary friend. So at least this way it's set up in a way where you can do that and it's not weird. You know what I mean? Because they could have made it where they join the family as like a sibling or something and then you can't do that storyline. But they allow it to be up to you. So they just join as a roommate and you can adopt them into the family if you wish. So again, just like leaving that door open, I feel like this pack lets you decide and lets you tell your stories beyond what you ever usually can in other packs. So we also got a rundown of exactly how imaginary friends work from the start. Molly says here, for those of you asking about requirements to actually imagine up the imaginary friend as a child, turn the dolls into the imaginary friend. Here's the full process of build mode to imaginary friend. Buy the doll from build mode. The child can play with the doll as normal, tell it secrets, pour their heart out, carry it around, etc. There is a requirement to make them into an imaginary friend. Reach creativity level 3. Befriend the doll. As you play with it or talk to it, you will gain relationship. Visible in the relationship panel. Or be suffering from loneliness so much that the child needs a friend now. Aww. Then they can turn the doll into their imaginary friend. Okay, so that's exactly how it works. I think that's great. I like that there is some sort of requirement too. And Molly also says here, evil imaginary friends can teach children how to set fires. See, this just plays perfectly into the whole like possessed doll. Like from the scary movies, like I don't know, that's all I can think of. I definitely think that was their inspiration. So that's basically everything I grabbed from the Q&A session. So I'm really happy with everything I'm hearing, you guys. I want to know all your guys' thoughts down below. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up here. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.
You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest.